What are you preparing for? Now, I wrote this down because I didn't want to miss anything. For the last few days, I've just been thinking about what are you preparing for? And that's just really been highlighted to me. Like, what am I preparing for? How am I preparing? And I just didn't understand at first, but it all became clear. Because I noticed a negative thought process of me preparing in my mind for negative outcomes. I would fear them, I would worry about them, and the constant negative thoughts made me anxious about every outcome. So the Lord had been highlighting over the last few days, just what are you preparing for? And I used to think like, well, let me prepare for something bad so in the event that it happens, I'm prepared, right? Makes sense. I work in the disaster field, which teaches you to mitigate, in preparation. How do you prepare for a disaster? What are you doing in case something goes wrong? You know, how they tell you, you shouldn't drive into water that you don't know how deep it is. Just preparations, mitigating the situation to hinder bad outcomes. And so that kind of trained me to always think about the bad outcome. How can I prevent it from going bad? How can I hinder the chances of a situation going awry, And so it seems right that I should ponder on bad outcome after bad outcome. So I'm prepared, but the Bible says that a way that seems right to a man, its end is death. It's destruction, and the end for me, it was killing my peace. It was killing my joy, my rest, my trust in God's ability to have a situation. But I didn't realize it because I'm just so worried about the outcome. The truth is, life is preparing us every day for something. All I had been doing is preparing for the worst. And it really became clear to me because, God will use anything. I was just watching a performer and she did this stunt and I was like, wow, that's amazing, right? And my first thought process is, how did she prepare for that? She had to prepare for that. And then right after that, I got a negative thought process. And I was like, wait a minute. It just all became clear to me in that moment because the truth is life is preparing us regardless. You're either preparing for something good or you're preparing for something bad, but you're preparing for something. The performer didn't just focus on getting the stunt wrong. How could she get it right then if she's constantly focused on the wrong? She practiced over and over to get it right. And the more she practiced to get it right, eliminated the chances of her getting it wrong and naturally prepared her for the mistakes she may make along the way. The Bible says to think on things that are of good report, good things, pure things, And so I really thought in that moment, like, whoa, that's the good thing. That's the good report. When you are thinking on a situation and the outcome of how it can play out, you should be thinking on the good report. And as you think on the good report, as you walk out that good report, you're already taking care of the bad. I spent years thinking on bad reports, preparing for things to go wrong in life, and it stopped me from preparing for the good and took my peace of mind in the process. And eventually I noticed I wasn't even preparing for the bad anymore. I was just fearing it. And either the bad thing happened or I feared and I worried over an outcome that never even came true. So I encourage you today to really just think about, what am I preparing for? How am I preparing? And am I preparing for the good? Because if you prepare for the good, I promise you, you're going to nail the stunt. God bless you.